Welcome to Lost at 3 a.m. Put your phone down, close your eyes, and let this be the last video you hear tonight. Relax, breathe, and let's begin. Tonight, we're traveling across the globe to explore some of the most fascinating, yet often overlooked countries in the world. These places, though small or remote, are filled with unique cultures, stunning landscapes, and stories that deserve to be remembered. From tiny island nations in the Pacific to ancient mountain kingdoms in Europe, each destination has something special to offer. You'll hear about countries where happiness is measured instead of wealth, where entire populations live above the clouds, and where nature and tradition blend in perfect harmony. Let yourself drift as we explore these hidden gems, reminding you that the world is vast, beautiful, and full of wonder. Now let's begin our journey. Tuvalu is one of the smallest and most remote countries in the world, a tiny island nation tucked away in the vast Pacific Ocean. It consists of 9 low-lying coral atolls and islands, with a total land area of just 26 square kilometers, making it smaller than many cities. Despite its size, Tuvalu is rich in natural beauty, with crystal-clear waters, white sandy beaches, and a peaceful, laid-back way of life. Home to around 11,000 people, Tuvalu's culture is deeply connected to the ocean. Fishing, canoe building, and traditional dances remain important parts of daily life. The people here speak Tuvaluan, a Polynesian language, and English, as the country was once part of the British Empire before gaining independence in 1978. However, Tuvalu faces a significant challenge: rising sea levels. As a low-lying nation, much of its land sits just a few meters above sea level, making it extremely vulnerable to climate change. Some parts of the islands already experience flooding, and there are fears that Tuvalu could become uninhabitable in the future. Because of this, the country has become a powerful voice in global climate discussions, advocating for stronger environmental action to protect small nations like theirs. Interestingly, Tuvalu earns a surprising amount of income from something you might not expect: its internet domain. The country's TV domain has become popular for streaming services and television networks worldwide, providing a significant source of revenue for this tiny nation. Though Tuvalu is small, it reminds us that even the most remote places on Earth have stories to tell, cultures to preserve, and voices that matter. As you drift off, imagine the sound of gentle waves lapping against a quiet beach, the sky painted in hues of pink and orange at sunset, and the peaceful rhythm of island life. Bhutan, often called the land of happiness, is a small kingdom nestled high in the eastern Himalayas. Surrounded by towering mountains and lush valleys, it feels like a hidden world untouched by time. What makes Bhutan truly unique is its deep-rooted philosophy. Happiness is prioritized over wealth. Instead of measuring success by economic growth, Bhutan introduced gross national happiness, a concept that values well-being, cultural preservation, environmental protection, and good governance. This guiding principle shapes life in Bhutan, influencing everything from education to urban development, ensuring a balance between progress and the preservation of tradition. The landscape is breathtaking, with snow-capped peaks, ancient forests, and winding rivers. Mist often rolls over the mountains, giving the land a mystical quality. At the heart of Bhutanese culture is Buddhism, which influences daily life through sacred temples, colorful festivals, and the peaceful rhythm of monastic life. One of the most iconic landmarks is the Tiger's Nest Monastery, perched dramatically on a cliffside, said to be where Guru Rinpoche meditated after arriving in Bhutan in the 8th century. Bhutan is also known for its commitment to environmental conservation. Over 70% of the country remains covered in forests, and it's the only carbon-negative nation in the world, absorbing more carbon than it emits. This deep respect for nature is woven into Bhutanese law, with policies protecting wildlife and limiting tourist numbers to preserve the environment. Cultural traditions thrive here, from the art of thangka painting to the national sport, archery. often accompanied by music and dance during festivals. The people wear traditional clothing called go for men and kira for women, further reflecting their pride in their heritage. Bhutan teaches us that happiness doesn't come from endless growth or material wealth, but from balance between progress and tradition, people and nature. As you close your eyes, imagine the sound of temple bells echoing through a peaceful valley, prayer flags fluttering in the mountain breeze, and the serenity of a place where happiness truly comes first. San Marino, often called the most serene republic, is a tiny, landlocked nation nestled within Italy. Covering just 61 square kilometers, it's one of the smallest countries in the world, but holds an incredible history as the oldest surviving republic, dating all the way back to 301 AD. Legend has it that San Marino was founded by a stonemason named Marinus, who fled persecution and sought refuge on Mount Titano. Over time, his small community grew into a republic that would endure for over 1,700 years, preserving its independence even as empires rose and fell around it. Despite its size, the country has never been conquered, a testament to its resilience and diplomatic skill. Perched atop the dramatic peaks of Mount Titano, San Marino's medieval architecture gives it a timeless feel. The ancient fortress towers, Guaita, Chesta, and Montale, overlook the surrounding Italian countryside, their stone walls whispering stories of a bygone era. The town's cobbled streets, historic churches, and centuries-old stone buildings make it feel like stepping back in time. San Marino's political structure is equally fascinating. It maintains a unique system where two captains regent serve as heads of state for just 6 months at a time, ensuring shared leadership and avoiding concentrated power. This practice dates back to the Middle Ages and continues as a symbol of balanced governance. Though small, San Marino has a rich culture and heritage. It's known for its festivals, medieval reenactments, and a strong sense of national identity. The local cuisine, influenced by neighbouring Italy, features delicious dishes like piadina flatbread and handmade pastas. Despite its ancient roots, San Marino embraces modern values while cherishing its traditions. It stands as a reminder that even the smallest places can have deep histories and proud identities. As you drift off to sleep, imagine the peaceful silence of Mount Titano under a starry sky. The ancient towers standing watch over the land, preserving centuries of serenity. Nauru, a tiny island nation in the Pacific Ocean, is one of the least known and smallest countries in the world, covering just 21 square kilometers, making it smaller than most cities. Despite its size, Nauru has a fascinating and complex history shaped by both natural wealth and challenging hardships. What makes Nauru truly unique is that it has no official capital city, a rare characteristic among nations. The entire island functions as a single administrative region, with government buildings and services scattered across its small landmass. Home to around 10,000 people, the country is known for its close-knit community where nearly everyone knows each other. Nauru's history is deeply tied to phosphate mining, which once made it one of the wealthiest countries per capita in the world. Phosphate, a mineral used in fertilizers, was discovered in large quantities in the early 20th century. For decades, the island prospered as mining exports surged, funding modern infrastructure, education, and even free healthcare for its citizens. However, this prosperity came at a significant cost. The extensive mining stripped much of the island's land, leaving behind an uninhabitable, scarred landscape with over 80% of the land damaged. Once the phosphate reserves were nearly depleted, Nauru faced a severe economic crisis, with limited resources to sustain its population. Today, Nauru faces new challenges as it navigates environmental recovery and a shift away from reliance on phosphate. Rising sea levels due to climate change also threaten the island, making its future uncertain. Despite these struggles, Nauru retains its unique identity and cultural pride. Traditional music, dance, and storytelling continue to be celebrated, and the ocean remains central to life. with fishing and local crafts still playing a role in the community. Nauru's story serves as a reminder of how natural resources can shape a nation's destiny and the importance of balance between prosperity and preservation. As you close your eyes, imagine the calm waves of the Pacific gently surrounding this tiny island, where the stories of the past echo softly with the rhythm of the sea. Comoros, often called the Perfume Islands, is a small archipelago in the Indian Ocean, located between Madagascar and Mozambique. Despite being one of the world's least known countries, Comoros is a place of stunning natural beauty, cultural richness, and fascinating history. The name Perfume Islands comes from the nation's most famous export, ylang-ylang flowers, prized for their sweet, exotic fragrance used in perfumes around the world. Fields of these golden blooms fill the air with a rich floral scent, making the islands feel like a paradise lost in time. Comoros consists of 3 major islands: Grande Comore, Moheli, and Anjouan. Each island has its own unique character. Grande Comore, the largest, is home to the capital city Moroni, with its bustling markets and historic mosques. Moheli is known for its untouched natural beauty, while Anjouan's lush forests and waterfalls create a sense of tropical serenity. The islands are volcanic in origin, with Mount Carthala, an active volcano on Grande Comore, towering over the landscape. Its dramatic presence and fertile soils have shaped both the geography and agriculture of the region. Culturally, Comoros is a blend of African, Arab, and French influences, reflecting its complex history of trade and colonization. The Comorian people speak Comorian, a language closely related to Swahili, along with Arabic and French. Islam plays a central role in daily life, with traditional ceremonies, music, and storytelling still holding great importance. Despite its beauty, Comoros faces challenges. It's one of the world's poorest countries, with limited infrastructure and resources. Political instability has also shaped its modern history, with multiple coups since gaining independence from France in 1975. Yet, the spirit of the Comorian people remains strong, rooted in community, tradition, and resilience. Comoros reminds us that even the smallest islands hold vast histories, rich cultures, and stories waiting to be discovered. As you close your eyes, picture the scent of tropical flowers carried on a warm ocean breeze, the sound of distant waves lapping against volcanic shores, and the quiet, timeless beauty of this hidden paradise. Lesotho, often called the Kingdom in the Sky, is a small, landlocked country completely surrounded by South Africa. What makes Lesotho truly unique is its breathtaking altitude. It's the only nation in the world where the entire country lies above 1,000 meters, 3,280 feet in elevation, with its lowest point higher than most countries' highest peaks. This mountain kingdom is defined by its rugged beauty. Towering plateaus, deep river valleys, and snow-dusted peaks create a dramatic landscape that feels untouched and wild. The Maloti Mountains dominate much of the scenery, with the famous Sani Pass offering one of the most stunning drives in southern Africa, winding steeply through misty cliffs and high-altitude terrain. Lesotho's people, known as the Basotho, have a rich cultural heritage centered around community, storytelling, and traditional crafts. The Basotho blanket, a distinctive woolen garment worn during ceremonies and everyday life, is a proud symbol of the nation's identity. Many Basotho still live in remote, high-altitude villages, where the pace of life is shaped by the rhythms of nature and traditional practices. The country's history is just as fascinating as its landscape. Lesotho was never colonized in the same way as many African nations. It was founded by King Moshoeshoe I in the 19th century, who united the Basotho people and negotiated to keep the nation's sovereignty during times of conflict with European settlers. His legacy of diplomacy and unity still echoes in Lesotho's national identity. Lesotho's mountainous terrain has shaped both its challenges and its resilience. The nation relies heavily on agriculture and natural resources, with many communities practicing subsistence farming. Yet, Its altitude also provides a unique resource: water. The country is often called the water tower of southern Africa because its rivers supply much of the region's water through massive hydroelectric projects like the Lesotho Highlands Water Project. Adventure seekers are drawn to Lesotho for activities like pony trekking, hiking, and even skiing in winter, as snow occasionally blankets the peaks of the Maloti Mountains. Lesotho is a place where nature and culture are deeply intertwined, reminding us that beauty can thrive in even the most remote places. As you drift off, imagine the cool mountain air, the sound of a distant river flowing through a green valley, and the sight of a village nestled high above the clouds, untouched and serene. Kiribati, a remote island nation scattered across the vast Pacific Ocean, is a place unlike any other. Made up of 33 atolls and reef islands, it spans a massive area of ocean, about 3.5 million square kilometers, yet its total land area is smaller than most cities, making it one of the most dispersed countries in the world. What makes Kiribati truly unique is its position on the international dateline. The country is so spread out that it spans both the eastern and western hemispheres, with some islands being among the first places on Earth to witness the sunrise each day. In fact, Kiribati was the very first country to enter the new millennium in the year 2000, shifting its time zones to ensure its islands would be the first to see the dawn of the 21st century. The islands of Kiribati are low-lying, with most sitting just a few meters above sea level. This flat landscape creates stunning lagoon views with crystal-clear waters, palm-lined beaches, and vibrant coral reefs. The beauty of the islands, however, comes with challenges. Kiribati is among the nations most vulnerable to climate change, with rising sea levels posing a serious threat to its existence. Some communities have already experienced flooding and erosion, and the government has explored long-term plans for the relocation of its population. Culturally, Kiribati is rich in tradition and storytelling. The Kiribati people have a deep connection to the ocean, relying on fishing and coconut farming for their way of life. Traditional dances, such as the tabuki and tekabuti, are central to community celebrations, often accompanied by rhythmic chanting and the beat of hand drums. The nation's history is also marked by World War II, with several key battles fought on its islands, including the famous Battle of Tarawa. Remnants of wartime bunkers and shipwrecks can still be seen along the shores, standing as silent reminders of the past. Despite its challenges, Kiribati continues to hold on to its cultural identity and natural beauty. It's a place where life moves at a slower pace, where the ocean breeze whispers through coconut trees, and where the sunrise greets the world before anywhere else. As you close your eyes, imagine the soft sound of waves gently brushing against white sandy shores, the scent of salt in the air, and the glow of a peaceful Pacific sunrise, far from the noise of the modern world, in a place where time begins. Andorra, a tiny yet enchanting country nestled in the Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain, is one of the smallest nations in Europe. Despite its modest size of just 468 square kilometers, Andorra boasts a fascinating history, stunning landscapes, and a unique form of government that sets it apart from the rest of the world. Known for its breathtaking mountain scenery, Andorra is a land of rolling green valleys, snow-capped peaks, and cozy villages with stone houses that feel straight out of a storybook. The capital city, Andorra la Vella, is the highest capital in Europe, perched over 1,000 meters above sea level, with a blend of medieval charm and modern elegance. Andorra's history is as fascinating as its landscape. The country was established in the year 1278 through a rare political arrangement called a co-principality, where two rulers, one from France and one from Spain, jointly govern the nation. To this day, the French president and the Bishop of Urgell in Spain share the title of co-princes, making Andorra one of the only countries with two heads of state. Despite its ancient origins, Andorra is a modern, peaceful nation known for its high quality of life and focus on tourism. The country is famous for its ski resorts, drawing visitors from around the world to its pristine slopes in the winter. In the summer, its hiking trails wind through lush valleys and rugged peaks, offering breathtaking views of the Pyrenees. Andorra has also gained fame for its tax-free shopping, attracting visitors to its luxury boutiques and local markets. Yet, beneath its modern tourism appeal, the country retains its rich traditions, including folk dances, music, and local festivals celebrating Andorran heritage. The language spoken here is Catalan, and while the culture shares similarities with both Spain and France, Andorra maintains a distinct identity, shaped by its mountain isolation and historical independence. Despite its small size, Andorra reminds us that beauty and history can be found even in the most tucked-away corners of the world. As you close your eyes tonight, picture the peaceful mountain air, the soft crunch of snow underfoot, and the distant sound of bells echoing through a quiet valley, far from the rush of the modern world. Every country, no matter how small or remote, holds its own stories, cultures, and natural beauty, reminding us that the world is far richer and more diverse than we often realize. From the mountaintop fortresses of San Marino to the sun-soaked shores of Tuvalu, each place we've explored tonight carries its own history, traditions, and lessons. These lesser-known nations show that even the tiniest corners of the world have voices worth hearing. Some, like Bhutan, teach us the value of happiness over wealth. Others, like Nauru and Kiribati, remind us of the delicate balance between nature and human progress. Whether it's the scent of ylang-ylang flowers drifting through the Comoros air, or the crisp mountain breeze rolling over Andorra's peaks, every place has its own rhythm, its own heartbeat. Though often overlooked, these countries remind us that the world is vast, filled with beauty, wisdom, and cultures, as unique as the landscapes they call home. They encourage us to stay curious, to look beyond the familiar, and to celebrate the richness of our planet. As you drift off to sleep tonight, let your mind wander to these faraway places. Imagine the gentle lap of waves on a distant shore, the hush of snow falling on a quiet village, or the peaceful glow of a sunrise in a land where time feels slower. Thank you for spending your evening with Lost at 3 a.m. Sleep well, and may your dreams take you to beautiful, unexplored places.